Hi, today we are learning about appending data to a file. So we've been learning about the print writer class. Today we're going to learn a little bit about the file writer class. The print writer class creates and opens a connection to a file and also allows us to print to a file, and then you close that file. If you want to add information onto a file once it's been closed, you can't use the print writer class to access that file because the print writer class will just overwrite it. We have to use another class called the file writer class, and this allows us to open a file that's been closed, and then we can add data to it. We can append data to it. So we're also today going to talk about creating files in general. The default place for when a file is created is the NetBeans project folder, but you can also set the directory for where a file is created if you want to. So let's go ahead and let's jump into our demonstration here. So our demonstration is called Appending Data Demo. Notice the first thing that I do here is I import the scanner class. Then I import all the classes in the input-output package here. I could say Java, import java.io.printWriter, and then I could have another statement that says import java.io file writer, but it's just easier to use the wildcard character and import them both with this statement. All right, so inside our main class, remember we have to add the throws IO exception whenever we use the print writer class, and that's what we're going to be doing here in just a second. So right now I have a file in my Java project folder right here, and this file is called Good Bands. And if I click inside Good Bands, I've got a few bands that I like: Laura Veers, Deer Tick, and the Editors. Let me go ahead and close this. What I'd like to do is I'd like to open a connection to that file and write and add more bands to this file. Now, if I just use the print writer class to do this, I would have a problem because I would overwrite the information in there. So to add information, to append information, I need to use the file writer class. So right here, I'm creating a file writer object called fwriter, and I'm using this statement right here to help construct this object, and I'm telling the file writer object right here that I want to open the file goodbands.txt. I've got a comma, and right here I've got an argument that says true. Don't worry about this right now, just know that you have to have that right there. So I have to use this statement to connect to the goodbands.txt file and open it. I will also have to create a print writer object called output file, because if I'm going to write to this file, I still have to use print writer. So I create a print writer object called output file, and then I basically attach the file writer object to the print writer object. So these are the steps that you have to go take if you want to add information to a file. So I first have to create my file writer object, and then I create my print writer object, and I attach it to the file writer object. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my print writer object to print to the file. So I'm going to print the word Coldplay. I'm going to print the next line Vampire Weekend, and then I'm going to close that file, and then I'm going to tell the user file updated with awesome bands. So let me go ahead and let's run this. So notice down here that this program has run, and this printed the following to the command prompt. So if I go back to this folder that has goodbands.txt in it, and if I double click on this, here are my bands. Now notice that right here, this Editors and Coldplay ended up on the same line, so I need to delete that. I'm going to go ahead and save. And to fix this issue, I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to create another statement that says output file.print line. I'm just going to create a space. So now when I run it, if I go in here to Good Bands, it'll have created that space that I needed to go on to the next line. So again, this is how you append to a file. You just use your file writer class, then you use the print writer class. I'm going to go ahead and comment this part of the demonstration out, and we're going to go to the next part. Alright, so part 2 of our demo. This part deals with specifying the file location, so we can actually have Java create a file in a specific location instead of the default location, which is the NetBeans project folder. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the C drive on this computer, and I'm going to create a folder on the C drive. I'm going to call it music, and this is where I want to create my file. So I want to create stuff in this music folder right here. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a print writer object called output file, and I'm going to create a file in that music folder, and this file is going to be called moregoodbands.txt. Notice that whenever you create files, whenever you program to create files, you've got to use, if you're using backslashes, you have to use 2 of them to separate the directories. You either use 2 backslashes or 1 forward slash. We're going to use backslashes here to be consistent though. Alright, so this program is going to do the following. It's going to create this file right here called moregoodbands.txt, and then it's going to print the following to that file. It's going to print Kanye West, and it's going to print the chordettes to that file, and then it's going to close the file. So I'm going to go ahead and run this program. It's going to stop when it gets to this statement right here, because I'm going to create a scanner object, and then I'm going to allow the user to enter a file name. So it's going to stop when we get right here, but I'm going to run the program and it's going to stop up to this point. So I'm going to run this right here. Alright, so notice that I now am in my music folder right here, and I've got moregoodbands.txt. If I double click this, you'll see that Kanye West and the chordettes, they're inside that. And this file has been written to because I did close it right here. But now I'm to this one statement where I'm asking the user to enter the file name. So I am going to do the following. I'm going to enter in the specific directory that I want to write to. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to append to this file. So I can tell Java the following. I can say C /music /moregoodbands.txt. So right here I'm giving Java the specific destination or a specific directory for where this file is located that I want to append. I'm going to press enter, and if you'll notice here in my code, what I did was I created a file writer object called fwriter, and I went ahead and I said, okay, whatever str file name is, whatever the user entered, grab that. That's going to be the file that we're going to append to. And then I'm using this print writer object right here that attaches to the file writer object, and now I can append to whatever file this is. So we're appending to this moregoodbands.txt. Remember that it's currently got the Kanye West and the chordettes in there, and now I'm going to print to the file the following. I'm going to say Coldplay, Vampire Weekend, and then I'm going to close that file, and then I'm going to tell the user file updated. And so that's what happened right here, file updated. And now if I go into moregoodbands.txt, you can see that my file has been updated. It's been appended to. So in this demo, again, we were using the file writer class to append data to a file, and we're also using the print writer class so we can write information to that file. And we also focused on creating files in their default directory, which is the NetBeans project folder, and also we worked on setting the directory so that we could create a file somewhere other than the default folder. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.